However, that expression can only be within the limits you are allowed. And so no matter how talented you are, if the man says, you know what, you have to resign your job, you put it in. That's the reality. Can we balance it well?
Yes. You know, I said earlier on, meekness. Meekness. What's meekness? Meekness is simply strength under control. Your strength must be under control. Not even the man's control. There's a bit of that because there's a hierarchy in the family. But under God's control. This will now lead me to your own relationship with Christ. A woman cannot be submitted to a man without first being submitted to God. Otherwise, you get ahead of yourself and you will get burnt. But if your strength is under control as a woman, you know when to pull back. Because you know the makeup of your husband. If I do this thing, this man can't handle it. So, it's not shrinking yourself like the ladies of these days like to put it. You are not shrinking yourself. You are not dimming your light. You are just walking in wisdom. Because truth be told, the two are already one. And I'm talking in the context of marriage now. Two are already one. It's a team effort. It's a team thing. Okay? I'm not trying to outshine you. You are not trying to outshine me. So, we walk hand in hand.
Thank you. So this brings a scripture to my head. Romans 8:6. Can you please pull that up? Romans 8:6. The first, no, it's not there. So the first statement talks about the fact that, no, give me in NIV, please. Give me a simpler. I want to pull something now. It talks about the control, the governance of the mind. The mind governed by the flesh is death, which is what you are saying, that a woman must submit to Christ first, and that's why. So the second is, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. So in marriage, if that second part is non-existent, that's where you will start to have those issues. Now, I want to connect it with something practical now. Let's go to the Nwosus. Thank you for that beautiful foundation, Pastor Tomi. Let's go to the Nwosus. Mr. Nwosu appears to be a very conservative person, conservative Igbo man in the context that, he wants everything covered. However, his wife's profession is in beauty, is in MCing. That's not a conservative profession. How have you been balancing it?
Okay.
We want to hear the woman first. We had woman first, so let's go on. Go on, my sister. Or do you want him to go on first? Okay.
Okay, well, I just thought it was normally asked me first because you want to know how I've been managing it, not how she has been managing herself. Okay, so that's fine. Before I got married to her, I knew she was an MC. She MCs events. And what I did was I saw she had the passion for it. So I invited her after we got married. Invited her. This is not marriage now. We sat as though we're business partners. And I told her, okay, this will continue. This will continue, but we have to bring in 1, 2, 3, 4 measures. I do my homework on the inside while we're home. Then she knows what to do on the outside.
You've just spoken in Igbo. Some of us don't speak Igbo.
Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say is she knows she has been. I just made sure she's professional about it. Very professional about it. And she does what she needs to do. But the only part I tweaked a bit is I encouraged her to start, for example, looking at dressings that would elegantly cover you, that will still make you look very attractive. You know, that's the area I tweaked a bit. But of course, then you know the woman you got married to. you have 100% trust, and you know it's strictly business. And when at the early stages she was always asking me, go with me, go with me, go with me. So at that time she didn't know that she was depositing some level of confidence. You know, ordinarily, if they are intense, there will not be that urge to go with me, go with me, go with me, go with me. So I had, over the years, I'd managed that, and I've managed it properly, because also she made it easy for me, because she really, really complied.
Thank you very much. Can we hear from you, ma?
Being an MC and also a pastor's wife, it's not easy to cope. And before I married my husband, I have been comparing events, because my father was doing that, and I learned it over the years. I got married. The Igbo woman in me, I begged my father to beg my husband to allow me continue it in his home. This is submission. Because I already know that if he is not being, if my parents did not ask him to allow me, I might not get that opportunity again. Because in Igbo land, a married woman will not be given that opportunity to go do that kind of job. So my husband accepted from my father and accepted me just the way I am.
Wisdom, right?
So can I say something? Well, fine. It's in Igbo land. Let's not get this misconception. Because when you say in the Igbo land, I saw a lot of people say, why? But I'm an Igbo man, and I lived all my life. I was born and bred in Lagos, but I go home a lot. But it's not as thick and as strong as she is saying it. But even if the father had not spoken to me, I'm sure she would have still gone ahead to do what she needed to do.
Good to know. So let's look at another area of submission. A few questions. It says, does submissiveness extend to finances of both spouses? Is it wrong for a woman who is also working to always inform, I guess you mean not inform her husband about the salary and how she spends it? So finances. Is a woman expected to submit all the finances along with,
Okay, there are two things for me. There's a difference between letting your husband know what the figures are and submitting. For me, it's important that your spouse know what you earn, know the figures, but it doesn't necessarily mean submitting, as though after working you carry the whole of the money and say, as they do those days, 9. That's not. So submitting, I don't know what the person is looking at. Is the person talking about informing your husband of your salary, of the figures, or giving it to him?
We'll come to that. So let's even look at finances, because this is one area that I know young people ask a lot of questions about. We're not asking that you share your exact formula, but this is, and I'll start from the angle of culture. So I'm an Igbo wife, proudly so. And I know that the first thing they present in Igbo land is that you are our wife, our property. We look after you in every way. And then you're expected to balance it with that submission. But you see, sometimes reality is that in the first place, we didn't meet in the village. In the second place, my husband was born and bred in Lagos too. So it threw in a whole lot of dynamics, just like your own case. So the question here is, like you said, it's not in the 9 days anymore. However, what are you saying, that you want women to be responsible for certain things? Will we get to the point where In short, putting finances together. Because understand the psyche of a woman too. Once you say that you are my property, I look after you. You are saying, okay, you want to carry all the load. That's it. So what is the reality of it? Because I don't want us to paint one picture. Meanwhile, of a truth, any man now that will carry 100%, my question to you is, do you want to kill the camel? As Yoruba would say, do you want to kill the kete kete? Yes. So let us look at it from scripture. We're coming to land on your side. I hope you know that, ma. We're still coming to that side. But please,
Okay,
just
like you said, it's difficult to find a home now that the man does everything, like you said, so they don't break at the back of the camel. Well, unless the man is extremely rich, maybe in 12 figures. But really, in our case, I don't do everything, but we sat down. Okay, I think maybe I'm just saying, okay, you know about this here now. Okay, you want to say something first? Okay, go ahead.
Did you notice that? She whispered. Submission. In fact, wisdom. Submission, wisdom. Please go on.
I'm going to be comic a bit. What are you dragging? If you're a woman and you're in your husband's house, what are you dragging with him? You don't need to drag anything with him when it comes to finances. You are supposed to be his helpmate. And you should help. That's the right thing. Any husband that is still asking the wife to submit everything she's making, the husband also is looking for trouble. Because that's when the woman will start doing anyhow and start trying to hide things from you. In a home, or let me use our own home. In our home, I don't hide my income from my husband, and he would not ask me for it. I bring myself down. If I get a job and I'm being paid, I will even dance to him and say, Bobo, guess what? Some cash. And he will laugh about it. I just told him, and we'll joke about it. If we need to do anything, and it's that money I got that we need to use, we will use it. It's not my money, it's our money. That's the truth. That's the truth. And I'm also encouraging others. If younger people, as you get married, you only get into trouble when you start acting smart. But when you're submissive and you show your husband true love, the money will not be an issue. That's the truth.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, can I say something?
Please go ahead.
Okay, let me just say this, please. For the men, please. When you want to earn the respect of our money, there's a lot of work to be done. Don't think that when you don't do the work, you don't put in the effort, responsibility-wise, you say it's our money. At that point, it becomes their money. So now, for example, when I met my wife, after the second year, well, I don't know which wisdom is this. I don't know whether it's from God or it's from man. I saw her sense and taste for dressing. I knew I'm on a marathon. Now, I just called her one and said, babe, you know what? Let's just talk about this family. And I said, I will do everything in the house, but take care of yourself. But I would, of course, I'll show up on special occasions, wedding anniversary. I'm sorry I'm saying this here. Maybe she's not heard this before. But the reason is because, why I said that, because I don't know what, like I said, I don't know if it's wisdom from God or wisdom from me. I just saw it and said, okay, and by the grace of God, God has helped me, and there have been peace. Really, because for me, where I was coming from, is there a young man that went to school with just 3 jeans and 2 shirts? So where is the dress that's coming from?
Excellent, excellent. But you see how we have traveled on this matter of submission to finances. Bottom line is communication. Understand who you are dealing with. Imagine if you ask my sister to remove all the gold from the will she not be looking sad when she has to dress? So he's found his own wisdom to attend to this. And there are no two families that can ever be the same. Understand who your spouse is. Communicate. Clear communication. You saw the way every time a word was used, you've noticed the way I would say, what do you mean by? So sometimes when you're having those family meetings, you have to ask. Parents, children, parents, spouse, other spouse is very important. Please, communication is very important. We need to start to fly now, but I'm glad we've laid this foundation. I will treat these questions very quickly. Somebody has asked me specific questions about being married to an Igbo man. Please understand that this is not about me, so let's see offline. We can talk about this offline. I suspect I understand what your concerns may be, but it's not, let's take it offline. This, again, has talked about the girl child. We're raising the girl child. What are we doing about the man child? Men who are badly trained and yet expect submission. Badly trained. But I think Pastor Ozo answered that before he even knew the question was there. For you to earn respect, you come with a lot of responsibility. But beyond that, what does the Bible say? Be ye renewed by what? The transforming of your mind. There's a Christ-like manner we're expected to act. Why is it all about the woman and what he can condone? All I hear is servitude. If a man displays leadership and vision, his wife will not have submission issues. Again, this confirms the fact that we need to be more and more like Christ. Okay, we've talked on that. So let's go to two final sides. In fact, I think we have attended to it. But let me read out these two questions. I believe they're important. Kindly advise on how to respond to my husband's change in taste of how I dress. Now he seems attracted to ladies who wear slightly short dresses, ankle chain, long eyelashes, and show a bit of cleavage. I consider myself fashionable but conservative. My friends say if I don't comply, he will start looking outside. We've been married for over 20 years. Pastor Ozo.
Okay, I think, you see, for me, the first thing is what we started with in the first service. You see, it's important that you get married to someone who is deep in Christ. Simply meaning that someone who is born again, someone who knows, understands, and have the fear.
Please, how do you measure that at the point of commitment? How do you measure that? I think that's the critical thing. We're all clear about the fact that husband, you must be born again, you must marry someone who's born again. But how can you know that somebody that likes you like this today, in another 20 years, wants you to start to, lift up the length?
Okay, well, if someone likes you like this today and tomorrow the person is expecting that maybe you lift it up, well, I think there are so many things, for example, that could be a factor. Maybe you should start looking at okay, where has the man been going to? What are the kind of friends he's been seeing? And at times, even as a woman, sometimes you also ask yourself, no excuses for the man actually, but how comfortable is the man at home? You see, but I always say something to women, especially in counseling, try as much as you can to make your man or your husband look forward to coming home. You see, because the more the man comes home, the more the man remains in the house, there is little possibilities for such exposures. You see, for a man who just turns all of a sudden, he wants you to start doing this, most of the times it could be as a result of what the man has been seeing or the kind of places the man has been going to, and maybe some certain friends he's keeping outside your knowledge.
Thank you very much. But can I say, if you're in the house, whoever sent in, this is one of the questions that was sent in virtually. If you're in the house, there's help in the house. We'll take details at some point. So please just reach out for help. Let's have you, so you can have a conversation with one of the counselors. 2 more quick questions. We are going to have to wrap up shortly. This says, how does a wife handle a husband who is so religious and proud at the same time? He is not on good terms with his in-laws till date, looking for the fruit of the womb for 6 years, and the fault is from him, yet he isn't open to medical options like IVF and surgery on him as a doctor advised after diagnosis a few years ago. Anytime the topic is raised, he blames the wife for being prayerful and active in church groups. We will take this from 2 angles. We're going to take it from